परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् श्रवणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे
Can you see the screen, Ravindra Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Is it visible or should I make the font bigger?
It is visible, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay, I'm reciting the first verse. So you see how it is to be recited, and then you try. I'm sorry, I should have given it to you before, but it just struck me. Ashrayami Shri Srivasam Tam Adyam Panditam Buddha Shuklambara Dharam Gauram Gaura Bhakti Pradayakam Shri Gaurasya Navadip Leela Kirtana Sampadi Ya Pradhanataya Khyati Sa Shivasho Gatir Mama Shri Gaura Kirtananando Putra Shoko Api Nishprihat Yam Shivasam Bhaktarajam Tam Namami Punah Punah. I don't know how far it can be sung because I have never heard it before, but I had it with me. So you see, recite.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
Yes, Priyanka, Hare Krishna.
आश्रयामि श्रीश्रीवासं तम् आद्यं पंडितं मुदा शुक्लाम्बरं धरं गौरं गौरभक्तिप्रदायकं श्रीगौरस्य नवद्वीपलीला कीर्तना सम्पदि यप्रदानतया ख्याता स श्रीवास गतिर्मम श्रीगौरकीर्तनानन्दो पुत्रशाको अपि नास्पृशात् यं श्रीवासं भक्तराजं तं नमामि पुनः पुनः आदौ वसतु श्रीहटे भागीरथ्यास्तटे तटः कुमारहट्टे यशासीत् समे गौरागतिर्गति श्रीवास श्रीपतिश्चैव श्रीनिधिश्चेति सप्तमा श्रीवास भ्रातरौ ज्ञेय श्रीवासं नौमि तद्वरम् पुरानारदरूपेण हरिनामाक्षरे यो जगत्प्लावयम् आस स श्रीवासो अधुना गति यत्पत्नी देवी श्रीगौराङ्गम् अतुषयत् स्वहस्तपक्क भक्त्यादै सश्रिवासो गतिर्मम पतिवद् गौराङ्गगतिर्मालिनी गौरविश्रुता तत्पादपद्मसविधे प्रणतिर्मे सहस्रशः
Hare Krishna. So we will discuss this
प्रभु जी वॉइस ब्रेक हो रहा है।
which speaks about the entire Chaitanya with Srivas. Okay. Hare Krishna. Can you hear me now? आवाज आ रहा है आप लोग को?
यस प्रभु जी बेटर है।
I will log in from mobile phone. Yes, no.
Yes, no. Yes, no. Yes, no.
Hare Krishna.
यस प्रभु जी हरे कृष्ण।
Okay. So this Ashtakam, Shivad Ashtakam, the first verse says, Ashrayami Shri Shivasam Tam Adyam Panditam Muda. Ashrayami means to take shelter. So today is the day when we should take shelter of Srila Shivas Pandit, because he is Adyam Panditam Muda. Adyam so many times heard Adyam Purana Purusham. Adyam means that one who is the original. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivas Adi. Adi and Adyam means those were the original. So amongst all the devotees of Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shivas Adi, Gaura Bhakti. So he is the foremost. And he is Panditam, he is greatly learned, he is scholarly. And more importantly, he is Muda. Muda means he is always joyful. One who has devotion in his heart is always filled with joy. And what is his appearance? Shuklambar Dharam Gauram. Shuklambar means that which is white. So his dress, his outfits are always whitish, white in color. And although his outfits are white, his dharam, his complexion is Gauram. His bodily complexion is Gauram, that is molten gold. And the color of his outfits are white. And what he bestows is Gaura Bhakti Pradaya. He is the bestower of pure devotion to Lord Chaitanya. So on this day of appearance of Srivas Pandit, we seek his shelter, we seek his protection, we want to follow into his footsteps, be able to become a devotee of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Gaurasya Navadip Leela Kirtana Sampadi Yapradhanyata Khyata Srivaso Gatirmama. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he invented and in Navadip, he spread the glories of performing Nama Sankirtan. He performed the pastimes of Sankirtan Vilas. He opened the treasure house, Sampadi. Sampadi means the treasure of the congregational chanting. So all these pastimes of the Lord, especially his pastime of performing the congregational chanting, this was performed in the place of Shiva Sangha, the place of residence of Shiva's Pandit. And this is the most famous of all the pastimes of Lord in Navadip. Ya Pradhanyata Khyata. So he is the one who is such a devotee, he was always absorbed in performing Kirtan for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu invented and started the Sankirtan movement, it is Srivas Pandit and his brothers, they were always performing the Sankirtan. Chari bhai Srivas miliya nij ghare Nisha hoila hari naam gayo chesware. So even before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu invented, as you all know, Srivas Pandit appeared much before. Srivas Pandit appeared at least 30 years before the advent of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when Srivas Pandit was of only 12 years, he shifted to Navadip. His father, Sri Jagdal Pandit, brought him to Navadip. And he, with his other three brothers, since from his very young age, from the age of Kesho, from the age of 12, he started to perform Nam Sankirtan in Navadip. So the Sampadi, the treasure of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's congregational chanting, was first released by Srivas and his brothers. Shri Gaurasya Navadip Leela Kirtana Sampati. Sampati is the treasure, and Kirtan, the congregational chanting, and the pastime of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Navadip of performing Kirtan Vilas. It was uncovered by Srivas Pandit and Srivas Sangha. And these four brothers were already absorbed in performing Kirtan. Sa Shivaso Gati. So let my Gati or my Mati, Mati means one's goal. Gati also means goal, and Mati means one's consciousness. Let my Mati and my Gati be Srivas Pandit. Srivas Pandit's congregational chanting, which he inaugurated in Navadip. Actually, in Navadip, before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inaugurated the Sankirtan movement, it was already inaugurated by the four brothers, Srivas, Sriram, Srinidhi, and Sripati. So let me also take shelter. Let my goal also be the goal of what the Srivas Pandit has, to spread the congregational chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And to facilitate and to serve the Supreme Lord in spreading the congregational chanting of the holy names. He offered everything. He offered himself, he offered his house, he offered all his resources, he offered all of his family members. And once what happened, and when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was performing his Sankirtan pastimes in the house of Srivas, Shri Gaura Kirtananando Putra Shoko Api Nishprihar Yam Shivasam Bhaktarajam Nam Namami Puna Puna. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was performing Sankirtan and he was immersed in ecstasy, Ananda, at the same time, the only son of Srivas Pandit, he left his body and passed away. But when Srivas came to know about it, he was completely unaffected. He was not at all morose, or he did not show any signs of lamentations. His only son died amidst the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's blissful kirtan. But he did not get affected by it. Rather, he forbade his family members that none of them are going to try or express any distress so as to disturb the ecstatic kirtan of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Shiva says Bhakta Rajam. He is the king, he is the Rajam, he is the prince among all the devotees who are serving Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I bow down to the surrender and dedication of Sri Srivas Thakur to serve Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again and again. Tam Namami Punah. I will discuss this pastime. I have shortlisted this pastime. Very important pastime. It has so many inspiration and instructions. This pastime of Shri Gaura Kirtananda Putra Shoko Api Nishpriha. Very important is Putra Shok Api Nishpriha. Spriha is the impact or the desire from within. And Nishpriha is that there is no impact, there is no desire. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sukheshu Anudvigna Manaha, Sukheshu Vigaspriha. But we don't find some examples. Sukheshu Anudvigna Manaha, that is Shiva's Thakur. What could be a greater calamity than the only son passing away? But that calamity did not impact the emotion or the commotion of Shivas. He was very firm, he was very balanced, he was very steady. Ado vasastu Shri Hate Agiratya very good. So where he came from Ado, from in the beginning. Vasastu, where was he residing? He was residing at Srihat, which is called Silhat. So Srivas Thakur and his family members, especially his father Sri Jalnar Pandit, they were all in a place called Silhat, that is in East Bengal, which is now Bangladesh. So they were there, and this place Silhat is on the banks of the river Bhagirathi. So they first lived in Srihat or Silhat, which is on the banks of Bhagirathi. And entering when they were in Chaitanya Leela, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there in Navadvip. So they came much before. How many years before they came? Before the advent of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srivas Thakur. Before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in Navadvip, he came before. How many years before? How many years before he came to Navadvip? मालिनी माता जी सुन रही हैं? कितने साल पहले आ गए थे?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत बना
हरे
याद
कृष्ण।
नहीं है प्रभु जी।
जो मैंने अभी सब बताया कैलकुलेशन, तो इस
12 years
सुनने में यही फर्क। हाँ
12 years प्रभु जी।
नहीं, गलत है। मैं पूछ रहा हूँ कितने साल के थे, ये नहीं पूछ रहा हूँ वो आए थे, पूछ रहा हूँ कितने साल पहले आए थे। मनोराम, अब तो इजी हो गया, बोलो मनोराम।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, his age, you told Prabhuji, at the age of 12 they shifted at Navadvip.
Yeah. So how many years before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance he came there in Navadvip? That is what I'm asking. You are all hearing, huh? But who is actually hearing with heart? Yes, Sonika?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, around 18 years, Prabhuji.
18 years is simple. He appeared 30 years before, I said. And when he was 12, he came to Navadvip. So he appeared and he was performing. He inaugurated the Sankirtan, congregational chanting of Nam Sankirtan in Navadvip 18 years prior to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. And from where he came? He came from Silhat or Srihat, which is on the banks of Bhagirathi. And after, so they were there in the Navadvip Leela. So he was in Navadvip for how many years? This is my next question. Who is hearing attentively? Ravinder, for how many years he stayed in Navadvip? Quickly, it should come immediately.
Prabhuji, after taking up sannyas by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and
I
then
am asking how many years. Don't give me, roundabout answer. Yes,
42 years.
how many years?
42.
Priyanka told you. Huh?
नहीं Prabhuji, 24
Simple है 24 or 18 कितना है? Simple है 42 years. But after 42 years, he could not stay in Navadvip because the impact of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so deep in his heart that the separation, the emotion and the commotion, there was no emotion or commotion when the son passed away. Just meditate on this aspect. When the only son of Srivas passed away, Srivas was not at all. He told his family members that if you lament, then I will go and drown myself. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, the emotion was so deep that he could not stay in Navadvip. He could not stay in Shivasana. And where they moved? They moved to another place, another hatta. That is Kumar Hatta. So I will take one pastime of Kumar Hatta also. Oh my God. For time is 41 past 8. If not today, then tomorrow. So Kumar Hatte Yas Asi Sa Me Gaura Gatir Gati. So after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left Navadvip, they could not stay or they could not tolerate the pain of separation from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they also moved out from Navadvip and they stayed in a place called Kumar. He came from Silhat In Sylhet, the Jagannath Mishra appeared, who became the father of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And later he shifted to Kumarhat. Kumarhat is a place where the spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Ishwar Puri Pada. It is very simple to remember. Srihat and Kumarhat. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not appear, before that they were in Sylhet. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, they shifted to Kumarhat. So let Srivas Thakur Same Gaura Gati Gati. Let my goal be the goal of Srivas Thakur. Gaura Gati Gati. And then the family is being discussed. Srivasa Shripatesteva Srinides Cheti Sattama Srivasa Bhartaromya Srivasam Nomi Tadvaram. So Srivasa and Sri Rama and Sripati and Srinidhi. So these are the four brothers. And amongst all this, he is the chief. He is the Sattamaha. He is the best. Actually, he is the senior most. Sattama means he is the senior most. Amongst all the Bhataro, amongst all the brothers, Shivasam Naumi Tadvaram. So I bow down to him. Naumi is to offer obeisances. And Tadvaram is take shelter of him. Naumi is to bow down, and Tadvaram is to take shelter of Shiva's Thakur. And then his identity is being given his constitutional position. Puranarada Rupena Harinama Sudhajare Yo Jagat Pravyamasa Shivasho Dhunagati. Pura means previously. Holy is Narada Rupena. One moment. So previously the personality who has appeared now as Srivas Thakur, previously he was Narada. He was Narad. And what was he immersed in? Harinama Suddha Jare. Narad Muni is always performing and he is always chanting Lord Narayan's glory. So he was absorbed in the same occupation what he did in his previous Swarupa as Narad Muni. That always glorifying and chanting the glories of Supreme Lord. So he is like the river, the flowing river of the nectar of the holiness. From his lotus mouth, every time he is emanating the holy name, he is glorifying the Supreme Lord. Then he makes the entire world submerged in it. Yo Jagat Plavyam Asaha. Plavyam means to inundate, to overflow. So he made the entire world submerged in the nectar of the holy names. Asaha, Saha, Srivaso. To let that personality, Srivas, who becomes my goal and my mission. Dhuna Gati. What should be the Dhuna and the Gati? Is to spread the glories, the Nam Sankirtan in the entire world, Jagat Plavya. And more details about him, Yat Patni Malini Devi. And his wife in this Srivas Thakur's pastime is Srimati Malini Devi. Sri Gaurangam Atoshya. She very much satisfied the Supreme Lord. How? Swahasta Pakaha. Paka, you understand, is by cooking. By her cooking, she very much satisfied the Supreme Lord. She satisfied Nitai Gauranga both. She used to actually feed Nityanand Prabhu by her own hands. Nityanand Prabhu used to behave like a small baby, and he used to enter into the lap of Malini Devi, and Malini Devi would feed Nityananda. And she would prepare many preparations for Nidai Gauranga. And she used to cook also, and she used to feed also. So here it is said that Swahasta Paka Bhaktadya Sa Shivaso Gatirmama. Most important here, this every verse, the gati or the goal or the destination or the final place of rest should be following into the footsteps of Bhaktadya. Amongst all the devotees, the foremost Shivas Thakur. To follow into the footsteps of Shivas Thakur. Pativat Gauranga Gate Malini Gaura Vishwataha Tatpad Padma Savidhe Pranater Me Sahasrasa. So Malini Devi, she was very chaste, and what she finally achieved is Gauranga Gati. She achieved the shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I follow Malini God of Vishruta. Vishruta means that she achieved the lotus shelter of the Supreme Lord while she was in Lord, when she was in Navati. And Tat Pad Padma Savidhe. So we follow to the footsteps, Pad Padma, into her footsteps, or we bow down at her lotus feet. And Pranater Me Sahasrasa. I offer my millions of obeisances. Sahasrasa is thousands, thousands of obeisances unto the divine lotus feet of Malini Devi and Srivas Pandit. Because both of them attained the highest shelter of love of Lord God. So my aspiration is to follow into their footsteps. Sri Chaitanya Priyatama. Sri Chaitanya Priyat Vande Srivas Panditam Yat Karuna Katakshena Sri Gaurange Ratirthave. So he is very dear. Sri Chaitanya Priyatamam. Priya, Priyatara, and Priyatamam. Priyatamam is the most closest and most dearmost. And we offer Vande Srivas. Vande means all glories. All glories to Srivas Pandit, who is the most dear and most closest to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And by his mercy, Yat Karuna Katakshim. Sri Gauranga Ratir Bhagavad. If there is a merciful glance of the Srivas Pandit, by his merciful glance, the living entity, the Jiva, can achieve Sri Gauranga Ratir Bhagavad. He can invoke the glance of Srila Srivas Thakur, can invoke in one's heart the invocation of love for Lord Chaitanya. So that is Srila Srivas Thakur. I offer my obeisances to Srivas Thakur. He is known as भक्त गणेश सेनापति श्रीवास पंडित जगत घोषाक आदि तुम्हारा चरित्र. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, why there is echo coming? Can you hear clearly?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
So Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying that Bhakt Ganesh Senapati. So another glorious position of Srila Srivas Thakur is that he is the Senapati. He is the commander in chief amongst all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Bhakt Ganesh Senapati Srivas Pandita Jagat Goshako Adi Tomara Charita. And his glories are sung worldwide. His glories, his glorious character, his glorious contribution, and most outstanding service to Lord Chaitanya is spread and is being sung all throughout the world. One of the reasons of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's advent. Okay. Hare Krishna. Now it will not come. There was some volume. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was performing Sankirtan in Shiva Sangha, once he called Shiva and told him one secret. He said, Tora Ucha Sankirtane Nada Rahumkare Chhadi Avaikunthe Ainu Sarva Parivare. So he said that Shivas, it is because of your Ucha Sankirtane. And who was performing this Ucha Sankirtan? Shivas and his brothers. They were performing this Sankirtan in Navadvip for 18 years. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by hearing that Sankirtan, he said, I was forced to come. It is because of your Ucha Sankirtana and Nadara Hunkare and the loud roaring and calling of Sri Advaita. So both have equal contribution. We all know of Sri Advaita Acharya, that Advaita Acharya Prabhu was offering the Tulsi Dal and Ganga Jal on the Shaligram Shila. But secretly and very quietly, Srivas Thakur with his brothers, they were also calling Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance by performing the Nam Sankirtan. So wherever there is Nam Sankirtan, following in the footsteps of Srivas Pandit, Lord Chaitanya will appear. That is why it is said that in 4 places there is Sada Avirbhav. Chare Sthane Prabhura Sada Avirbhav. What are these 4 places? Every time we speak about it, that ei Charathani Prabhu Sada Avirbhava Prema Krishna Hoye Prabhu Sahaja Swabhava. So this is the natural disposition of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that wherever there is prema, and how this prema has spread is by performing kirtana or taking nama. So if we chant and if we perform kirtan in the footsteps of Srivas Pandit, then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will certainly appear. He will appear. So he appeared, he is there, he is eternally. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is eternally there in Srivasa Kirtane. Sachire Mandire और नित्यानंद नरतने श्रीवास कीर्तने और राघव भवने ए चारिथानी प्रभु सदा विर्भाव प्रेमा कृष्ण होया प्रभु सहज स्वभाव. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling Srivas that Srivas, it is your Premanam Sankirtan, your calling by the heart that I was supposed to come. And how I have come? Chhadiya Vaikuntha. I had to give up my place of residence in Vaikuntha. And not only I came, I knew Sarva Parivare. I have come with all my associates and all my members. भगवानेर भक्त यथा श्रीवास प्रधान दासवार पाद padma sahasra pranam. So amongst all the pure devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srivas Thakur is the Pradhan. He is Senapati and he is Pradhan. So if you allow, I want to take one very beautiful composition which I was studying I was studying yesterday also and today morning also. This is very, very instructive also. The teachings and instruction at the time of Srivas Thakur's son passing away. Let us see. Okay. We all know that whoever was there in Shiva's house, whether he was maid servant or whether he was tailor, what to say of maid servant or tailor, even those who were in the species of dogs and cats, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu blessed them with his Gauranga prem. He kahibe Shivasera Bhagya Mahima Yaha Radas Dasi Bhagya Nahi Sima. I am unable to describe, Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying that I am unable to describe the glories of Shiva's good fortune. There is no end to the good fortune of even his servants and maid servants. एक दिन नाचे प्रभु शिव मंदिरे दुखे श्रीवास आदि संकीर्तन करे देव व्याधि योग ग्रहे श्रीवास नंदन परलोक हाय गना देखा नारी गण आनंद करे न नित्य श्री सची नंदन अचंबित श्रीवास धरे क्रंदन सत्वरे आयला ग्रहे पंडित श्रीवास देखा पूरा हईया छे परलोकवास परम गंभीर भक्ता महातत्व ज्ञानी त्रिगणेर प्रबोधिते लागिला पानी तो माते सब जन कृष्णेर महिमा संवर रोदन सबे चित्ते देह क्षमा अंतकाले सकृत सुनीले यार नाम अति महापात कियो याया कृष्ण धाम हे ना प्रभु अपाने साक्षात करे नित्य गुण गाय तारा ब्रह्मादिक विद्या এই समय यारा होइल परलो यहाँ ते किया करो तियार शोक कौन काले शिशु भाग्य पाई आबे कृतार्थ करिया पनारे माई तबे. So this is the inner disposition of Srivas Thakur. When his only son passed away and when his wife and other ladies were crying in the inner chambers, so what Srivas Thakur said, when one day when Lord was dancing in the house of Srivas, the devotees headed by Srivas happily engaged in Sankirtan. By the arrangement of providence, the ladies watched the son of Srivas leave his body because of some disease. As Sri Sachinandan was dancing in ecstasy, the sound of crying filled the house of Srivas. Srivas Pandit therefore immediately went inside the room and found that his son has left his body. Being more sober and conversant with the intricacies of spiritual science, Srivas began to solace the needy. You all know the glories of Krishna. Control your crying and pacify your mind. A person who even one hears the name of Krishna at the time of death attains the abode of Krishna, even if he is more sinful. That Lord is now personally dancing here, and his servants, headed by Brahma, are glorifying his qualities. Is it proper to lament for a person who leaves his body at such a time? If I can ever become as fortunate as this child, I will consider my life successful. प्रदोष समय श्री वास आंगने संगोपाने गौर मही हरि कीर्तने नाचे नाना रंगे उठिला मंगल ध्वनि मृदंगम दाल बाजे करता माझे माझे जय तुरा प्रभु रानातन देखी सकलेरा होईला संताप दूर अखंड प्रेम ते मतालाता खाना सकल भक्त गणा अपनी पसारा गौर चंदे घेरी नाचे गाये अनुक्षण এই মাতা সময়ে দেব ব্যাধি যোগে শ্রীবাসেরা অন্তঃপুরে তনয়া বিয়োগে নারী গণেশোকে প্রকাশলা উচ্চ স্বরে ক্রন্দন উঠিলে হবে রাস ভঙ্গে भक्ति विनोद गारे श्रीवासया मानी पूजिले कारण पाचिला अपन गारी. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur has given this description. Bhakti Vinod Thakur has entered this Leela and is describing all these details. प्रवेशिया अंतपुरे नारी गान शांत करे श्रीवासया मिया उपदेशे सुन पागलिनी गना शोक करे आकारण किबा दुख थाके कृष्ण वेसे. So what he told his wife? He was told his wife, Suna pagali gana. You are mad, you are crazy, you are a crazy woman. Why you are crying? Don't you know who is performing kirtan here? After entering the house, Srivas solaces the ladies with his nectarine inspection. Listen, you foolish lady. You are uselessly lamenting. How can distress remain in the presence of aesthetic love for Krishna? Krishna nitya sutayara shoka kabhu nahi tara amitya asakti sarvanasha आशियाचे संसारे कृष्ण भजी बारे तारे नित्य तत्व करह विलास. One who has accepted Krishna as his eternal son never levels. Temporary attachment is the cause of one's ruin. And you have come to this material world to worship Krishna. So remain joyful on the spiritual platform. Whom is he telling? He is telling the mother whose son has died. He said that to remain joyful. This Rona Dhona is all crying and lamentation is on the material platform. Come to the spiritual platform. ए देव यावस्थिति कर कृष्ण चंद्रेरा रति कृष्ण जन धन ध्यान प्राणा ए देहानुज्ञता भाई बंधु पति सुता अनित्य संबंध परिमाना. As long as you remain in this body, become attached to Krishna and accept Krishna as your companion and life. You should understand that bodily relationship with your brothers, friends, husband, and children are all temporary. Keva karapati sutta anitya sambandha krita chahile rakhite nare tare karam vipak phale sutta hoye vasa kule karmashaye aur raite nare. Who is anyone's husband or son? These are simply temporary relationships. Even if one wants to keep such a relationship forever, one cannot do so. As a result of one's karma, one becomes a son and sits on someone's lap. But when the result of his karma are exhausted, he cannot remain there. Ite sukha dukha mani adho gati labhe prani Krishna pade hoite pade ude shok samariya ebe नामानंदे माझे सबे Bhakti Vinoda Vancha Pure. Living entities who find happiness and distress in these relationships become degraded and fall away from the lotus feet of Krishna. He is telling his wife when his son is passed away. Ithe sukha dukhamani adhogati labhe prani. He's saying, you foolish woman, you will go into the lower species of life. Therefore, control your lament and become merged in the ecstasy of chanting Krishna's name. Then Bhakti Vinod Vidar will be fulfilled. Jana Jana Deha Geha Krishna Samarpana Kariyate Shuddha Chitte Kara Smaran. Remember with a purified heart that you have surrendered your wealth, companion, body, and house to Krishna. Tabe keha mama sutta bauli kare dukha Krishna nila nila jane sahitara sukha. Why do you lament, O my son? Krishna has taken his dear one for his own pleasure. Krishna ichha mate sava ghata e ghat natha e sukha dukha jnana vidya kalpana. Everything happens according to the will of Krishna. Krishna ichha mate sava. To derive one's happiness and distance from these temporary incidents is the product of ignorance. जहाँ इच्छा करे कृष्णा ताई जाने भाला तजिया पाने इच्छा बुझाओ जंजाला. Accept that Krishna's will is beneficial. Give up your selfish desire and be free from contamination. Deya Krishna Neya Krishna Pale Krishna Save Rakhe Krishna Mare Krishna Ichha Kare Yave. Krishna gives, Krishna takes. De Krishna, Ne Krishna. And Pale Krishna Sava, Krishna maintains everyone. Krishna protects, Rakshe Krishna. Krishna kills, Mare Krishna, Ichha Kare Yava. Whatever he desires. Krishna Ichha Viparita, Ye Kare Vasana. Ichha Nahi Phale Se Paye Yatana. Very important instance. Very, very important. It says, Krishna Ichha Viparita. The desire of one who opposes the desire of Krishna will never be fulfilled. So we should make our desire according to the desire of Krishna. Because that is only that. And if we don't do that, Ichha nahi phale se paye yatana. Such a person achieves only miserable situations in this world. Kaji esa kalasho ka suna Krishna naam paramanande pave na hole kam. Give up all lamentations. Who is speaking to whom? Who is speaking to whom? Where? क्या सुन रहे हो?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
हरे कृष्ण.
चैतन्य महाप्रभु श्रीवास पंडित के वाइफ को बोल.
दोबारा बोलो.
चैतन्य महाप्रभु श्रीवास पंडित के वाइफ को बोल.
चेतन महाप्रभु बोल. चेतन महाप्रभु का बोल. कौन किसको बोल रहा है? सही से सुनते नहीं तो. प्रदीप.
Srivas Pandit with his wife Malini did.
Srivas Pandit is pacifying his wife. महाप्रभु तो नृत्य कर रहे हैं और वो मालिनी को बोल रहे हैं कि तुम रहोगी तो सारे नृत्य की सेवा में क्या करोगी? बाधा बनोगी. तो किसके लिए रो रही हो? क्यों रो रही हो? कौन मर गया? क्या संबंध था तुम्हारा उसके? कृष्ण इच्छा विपरीत ये करे वासना अंतर. इच्छा नहीं फले से पाए यातना. The desire of one who opposes the desire of Krishna will never be fulfilled. Such a person achieves only misery. Taji asa kalashoka suna Krishna naam paramanande pabe purna hobe kam. Give up all lamentation and hear the name of Krishna. Then you will feel ecstasy and your desires will be fulfilled. Bhakti vinod mage Srivas charane आत्मनिवेदन शक्ति जीवने मरणे. Bhakti Vinod begs at the feet of Srivas for the strength to fully surrender to the Lord in life and in death. हम गाते हैं, बड़े आराम से गाते हैं. मानस देह गेह जो की मोर अर्पिलु तुआ पदे नंद किशोर. लेकिन जब सिचुएशन आती है तो क्या होता है? जरा सी सिचुएशन एडवर्स होती है तो क्या होता है? तो भजन ही बंद हो जाता है. भगवान में विश्वास ही खत्म हो जाता है ही नहीं, क्योंकि विश्वास है ही नहीं. विश्वास का जो आधार है वो केवल एक ही है कि हमारी इच्छाएं की पूर्ति कर रहे हैं. उतना ही विश्वास, उतना विश्वास है कि जो हम चाहें वो आप पूरा करें, तब तो आप हैं. और हमारी इच्छा के विपरीत अगर कुछ हो जाए तब तो फिर तो आप एक्सपोज. हमारी कितनी श्रद्धा है, कितना समर्पण है, कितना संयम है, वो सब सामने आएगा. वाई ही सेनापति भक्त. ओके, टाइम ज्यादा हो रहा है, 7 हो रहा है. मैं अभी यही समाप्त करता हूँ. कल कंटिन्यू. This teaching will continue tomorrow. Very, very important. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will also speak that son who passed away will also speak. Very beautifully. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Actually, Bhakti Vinod Thakur इस अनुभाष्य में भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर का जो रियलाइजेशन है उसको पूरा डिटेल कर. यहाँ भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर entered this लीला and he saw it and he has given such wonderful insight. Hare Krishna. श्रीवास ठाकुर आविर्भाव की महामहोत्सव की जय. श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय. श्री चैतन्य चैतामृत की जय. विल कंटिन्यू टुमारो. हरे कृष्ण.